Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships dev blogs. We have maybe the best news of 2026 when it comes to World of Warships. Holiday Convoy sets sail. This is honestly an incredible looking event. Do you guys remember the second half of 2025 where everything was great? We were grinding for doubloons, some free ships. It was awesome. Wargaming did a really good job. The first half of 2025 was rather poor, very expensive Admiral bundle onlys, a lot of gambling events too, dockyards coming back for absurd gambling. Wait, that was also 2026 first half, wasn't it? Seems like they're in a bit of a cycle. Wargaming some feedback. Maybe we could just have some consistency around free-to-play, small spend, like $10 a month players where they can actually have something to get excited about during the first half of the year. That would be really nice. But let's talk about this Holiday Convoy. There's a lot of other dev blogs as well, but I think I'll save those for another video tomorrow. We got the new 15.7 update information, that sort of thing. So they did a Grand Voyage event alongside GQ Johnny. They had a bunch of other things too, where you could earn San Diego, that kind of thing for free. We currently have a Congress event very similar to the San Diego. So seems like they are trying. What you need to know about this event is there will be some new ships available here. There are 7 returning ships. You can get Prince or Hoffman. Again, those were only available in a Steel Will event a couple years ago, I believe. Maybe that was last year's. No, that was a couple years ago, I think. As well as 4 brand new ships. You can also earn doubloons in this event too. So similar to that anniversary event where you were consistently earning doubloons by playing, though it looks like this is tied together. So if you want the doubloons, you're not going to be getting as many ships. If you want the ships, you're not getting as many doubloons, if that makes sense. Now for participation here, we are getting 173 days. So from the release of update 15.7 till the end of January. Notice it goes into 2027 already. Holiday Convoy tokens can be earned by completing daily combat missions or by converting resources. So you're going to be limited on a few of these, obviously by the number of days you can play, 173 there, as well as coal will be limited. You can trade steel and research points unlimited a number of times. So you will spend a lot. 500 steel gives you 1,500 of these convoy tokens. 1,000 research points gives you 1,500 as well. 5,000 coal to 1,500 here as well. So just by completing the daily combat missions over the course of the event will yield up to 207,000 tokens. You can also convert resources here too. And the maximum you can get out of coal requires 650,000 coal. So quite a bit there to get the maximum 195,000. But that is 400,000 tokens if you play, I believe it's 5 battles every day for 173 days. So again, this is for people who have a lot of time, perhaps a little bit less money to spend, which I like. We have plenty of events for people who have a lot of money to spend and less time. This is more geared towards those who have more time. However, you don't need to play every single day. Play 1 battle, 3 battles, or 5 battles in randoms, co-ops, operations, ranked events, brawls, clan battles, whatever. You will get 300, 400, and 500. So those will add together for a total of 1,200 daily. So very good looking event overall as far as how you're getting these tokens. So what can you get though? It'll feature 11 ships of rare, epic, and legendary rarities. So yeah, Kitakami is here, but you're not going to be getting that one very easily. And I think they are sending out... is the New Jersey going to be a part of this? Remember, they announced that on social media that New Jersey is coming to the game. Will they be able to get it here in time for this event? I am not sure, but there are 3 brand new rare ships and a brand new epic ship. Maybe they don't want to give it away for people for just playing the game, though. They might want to save it for like a loot box gambling event. I'm not sure, but it'd be really cool if they brought it into this event where you could grind towards it. That would be an incredible reward. Anyways, we are going to see Bismarck 41 return very quickly after its very expensive Admiral bundle for 60,000 tokens only. That's really good, guys. I think that is going to be a massive favorite of many of you to get during this event. I think that'll be quite reasonable for most people to grind. We're also seeing Yiming, which, remember that one, Bismarck 41, by the way, Vaniel's secondaries on a battleship, the first one we've seen, is very good. Go check out some of the videos I've put out. Others have put out too. It's very, very fun. Yiming, this was the one with the torpedo immunity consumable, as well as some faster reloading, smaller caliber main guns. And Messina here, do I remember what this one was like? Tier 9 with destroyer caliber guns. This one I believe was fun, if I remember right. I was speculating that they might do a whole tech tree line of DD caliber light cruiser for Italians, but seemingly like they haven't done that yet. But I remember Messina being pretty interesting. 84,000 for that, so that is the rare tier 9s. 84,000 if you want that. Rare tier 10s go up to 140,000, but that's going to be Prince. This is a very, very good cruiser. If you want Dutch airstrikes, but you want to be more focused on main guns, the main guns here are very, very, very powerful. Better dispersion than what you get on Guden, because these are just normal cruiser dispersion. They're 234s, so they have good pen, high alpha damage on the HE, and great shell velocity here too, which is different from the 234s we see on like Goliath, for example. Hoffman as well. This is Elbing without the massively incredible AP, if I remember right. The AP is still very good. Maybe it's the pen angles that it doesn't have. But the HE is better on this one, and it gets a hydro. So smoke, hydro gimmick. Hoffman is very, very good too. So 140,000 for those. And then 3 more new rare ships. That new epic ship for 400,000. Remember, you can technically get that one by using coal and just playing every single day if you don't have any steel or research points. Or then likely you're going to have to use some steel and research points as well as coal and play a lot. You're going to have to play a lot for this epic ship, whatever it ends up being. And the Kitakami seems like, yeah, you're just going to have to convert an absolutely ridiculous number of resources. They want to talk about how it's not easily accessible legendary ships. Kitakami, by the way, I think it sucks. So really, if you're just a collector, that's the only reason to go for it, probably. Interesting that the price in coal here for Convoy tokens, 280,000 for a rare tier 9, 470,000 for a rare tier 10. I mean, that's kind of similar to what we've seen in the armory for some of these rare tier 9s and tier 10s. Like defense came back for coal. That was in that little over 400,000 range. So pretty similar there. And it's flexible because you don't have to get a day one. You can start playing every day or whenever you end up playing to earn these tokens right away. As well as you can just use some steel or research points too. The doubloon amount you can get up to is 18,000 doubloons. So that is less interesting, I would say, compared to last year's event, where you were earning that on top of what we were doing elsewhere. But perhaps we could say it's similar in that you were spending doubloons on some of these new ships that were introduced in the second half of 2025 anyway. So instead, they just have a convoy token here that you're using on the ships or on the doubloons. Right? That kind of translates, I would say. Something to consider here, though, about these packs of 300 or 3,000 doubloons is that there is one per update. So you're going to have to remember to get the doubloons each update if you want the 18,000 doubloons. You can't just wait until the end and claim everything, which is, it's fine, I suppose. It does mean, though, that you have to really plan ahead if you are going to get a ship that you want to, or you should be just getting the doubloons as we go along. Now, this is awesome, okay? Wargaming, some feedback on your dev blogs and that for these big events. This is incredible. This makes my life so much easier, guys. They're actually giving us some estimates of what it would take to earn some of these ships. I don't have to go into a ton of math to guess at what it would take to earn these ships without knowing what the full event looks like. So, casual weekend player, right? If you're playing 2 to 3 times a week, 5 battles in each session, which I think is pretty casual. That is not too difficult to accomplish. That'll get you around 36,000 tokens during the event, and that'll be enough for Bismarck 41 after you convert 80,000 coal. So 80,000 coal plus playing 2 to 3 times a week for 5 battles each day of those 2 to 3 days a week will get you a Bismarck 41. Reminder, this ship was like 130, 150 bucks not too long ago. Excellent event. If you're playing most days, 5 battles a day, well, then you're going to get the doubloon pack in less than 8 days. That's pretty cool. Bismarck 41, you'll earn not by converting coal at all, just straight up by playing in 50 days of the 173. So it's not like you can only get one of these ships. If you're not going for that epic ship or Kitakami, you can get a few of these premiums if you're okay with going for the tier 8s or tier 9s, or maybe even the tier 10 plus the tier 8 if you have the time to grind for that, which is really awesome. Mercenary Yiming will be in 70 days, right? So 50 plus 70, well within the 173 day range. You don't even have to play every single day. The rare tier 10, 117 of the 173 days. That's getting up there, but remember, that's not converting any coal. That's not converting any other resources like your research points or your steel. That's awesome. Like, this is looking great, to be honest with you. Now, they want to mix here too and say, what if you played 36 sessions across the event? Remember, this is happening over the next half a year, right? So 3 times every 2 weeks with 5 battles per session. That is very, very low, I would say. That gets you 44,000 tokens, add 132,000 coal. Remember, that's about the price of a tier 8 in the coal shop, maybe a little bit more than a tier 8. But you play a little bit, throw in a tiny amount of coal relative to what a tier 9 usually would cost, and you get a rare tier 9 ship. That is pretty sweet. And yeah, Kitakami available, but it's going to be kind of ridiculous. 5 battles a day for 117 of the 173 days. You'll need to spend all the 650,000 coal. You need 68,000 steel and 136,000 research points. That's a lot, okay? It makes sense for Kitakami that is going to take a ton of resources and time to actually get that ship. Again, I don't think it's that useful. Make sure you go check out this dev blog, by the way, as they include a link to a community-made calculator, which is just amazing, Wargaming. I know this is separate from what Wargaming is doing themselves, but it seems like they worked with whoever this developer is of this community-made calculator. I think this is the same person that did the snowflake calculators for Christmas events, that sort of thing. You'll be able to select whatever ship you want to get, right? You can just click on, you can click on multiple of these if you want to, and it'll tell you how much is required of you to actually get to it. It'll give you an estimate of how many games you need to play. Let's say we want the 400,000 tokens there. What are we going to need to do to get there? Well, we are pretty short if we are only playing 5 battles a day, 5 days a week. Okay, that is pretty high commitment level as far as our play rate. So let's see what our resources requirements would be to actually get towards this 400,000 goal. Do you have 650,000 coal? That's still not quite enough. So you're still going to need to add in either some steel or research points. But let's say we have some steel laying around, 58,000 steel. That's around 2 tier 10s for steel ships, a little bit less than that, as well as, the coal requirement is like 2 tier 10s as well. That is huge price, but that would get us there, including 5 days a week of 5 battles. It's a lot, okay? But definitely check out this Convoy planner. You'll notice that it is going to be a lot more reasonable to get the Bismarck 41 or Yiming or even Prince or Hoffman, these sorts of ships. And remember, all subjects should change. Yeah. This seems rather set though, considering this is such a massive event going forward very soon here. But yeah, it could certainly change. As well as the extra month, the January 2027, seems to be here to give us time to spend any remaining tokens so that the event doesn't end like one day after you can get your last little bit of tokens. I think that's good. Overall, looks absolutely incredible. I'm very happy to see another one of these events come around. I really enjoyed the second half of 2025 because Wargaming was still putting out very expensive ships throughout that time, but it was a lot easier to stomach that when there are also events for those who are free to play or spending 10 to 20 bucks a month on the game, which I think is a more normal player base. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do think that is more of the average player. So I'm glad that they are doing this again. Wargaming, please maybe make this a little more consistent throughout the year. The first half of 2025 was horrible. First half of 2026 was also terrible. Bringing back these old dockyard ships for $2,000 gambling bundles is ridiculous as well. I have plenty of complaints about what Wargaming is still doing with their monetization, but this holiday convoy looks very, very good. So more of this, please, Wargaming. Have this going alongside some of your more expensive Admiral bundles and that, and I wouldn't be nearly as critical. I want something for the free-to-play, the low spend per month player, and then you can also milk the whales if you want to, and you certainly do want to, obviously. Have something for both sets of players. That is my feedback. But that's what it looks like for the second half of 2026. Looks great. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And yes, we will be looking at the rest of these dev blogs tomorrow if you're interested in what the rest of 15.7 looks like. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.